We started using Preseem, and when we turned the Preseem on and we started running our bandwidth filtering through it, we overnight saw a 50% reduction in calls from customers where they had issues with download speeds or they had issues with buffering on video. Those problems started to go away. It fixed everything. Obviously, we still had things that needed to be sorted out on the network, but for that segment of things, it's overnight, those issues were almost immediately gone. So that's been a huge difference. Basically, what Preseem allowed us to do was to kind of take the next step beyond where a lot of other providers were at, where we could really focus on making sure that everybody's applications worked like they were supposed to. Led to fewer support calls, led to higher customer satisfaction. It also helped us highlight places. We actually went through a very challenging period where we kind of had to say, okay, we got some customers that don't meet our quality standard. And we were able to judge that quality standard with the Preseem a lot better. Sacrificing that enabled us to offer a better quality of service on our network. And that was something that we couldn't really tell with the previous tools that we had, but Preseem allowed us to maintain that quality of connection and responsiveness for our customers that they expect. And I think it really allowed us to outperform, despite the fact that we were using, at the time, a fairly limited fixed wireless network a couple generations ago in wireless tech. It was like we jumped forward a technology generation just by putting the Preseem appliance in place.
So the AP capacity feature that Preseem added really been useful to us, especially on the sales and marketing side. On the network engineering side, it's been great to have a tool that we all agree on. I don't know if this is true in all wireless ISPs, but I know one of the biggest contention points between network engineers and the sales and marketing side and perhaps the management was the capacity on access point. Of course, sales and marketing, would want to add customers to an access point with no limit. Network engineers would be happy if we'd close off that access point at 5 customers. And of course, from a business management standpoint, we had to kind of pick a happy medium where, we want to remain profitable and put as many customers on an access point as possible. Of course, we want happy customers that aren't calling in and complaining and upset that they're not getting a high quality of service and a quality of experience that's acceptable and then looking for another provider. So finding that balance point and just having a single tool that everyone could agree on was just a real point of contention for years. So when Preseem added that capacity feature, at least it gave us a common point that we could all agree on. If Preseem said the access point had capacity to add 5 customers, everyone pretty much agreed we could add 5 customers. If it said it had 0, we agreed we needed to stop sales and add another access point or perhaps fix some poor customers on the access point to increase capacity. So it really gave us a nice, allowed us to operate with a lot more harmony. I feel like we can maximize the profit potential on an access point by filling it up to its absolute max, but not move over to the side where we're harming the performance and the experience for our customers. So it's really helped us to deliver a better quality product, I think.
So the sales department of Vistabeam, we utilize Preseem primarily in a couple of ways. The first one is with new sales. If we do a path analysis and we've determined that a customer can get the service, then we will jump onto our infrastructure management platform, take a look to see if we can get them the service, if the access point's at capacity or if it's limited in a certain way. Then the salesperson will jump onto Preseem and we'll look at the access point, we'll look at the health score, we'll look at the available subscriber capacity. And if it looks like we can squeeze in a couple extra customers there, then we will take a look at it with NetOps and run it past them. And if it looks good, then we'll be able to get another customer on there when our infrastructure platform said that we can't. So it helps us squeeze out a couple extra customers when we normally would have not been able to.
If I looking at a customer and I see that they're on an AP that has a poor score, then I'm able to look and see, is there another sector that I could move this customer to? So I use Preseem to see what the score is on the other available sectors or maybe APs that they're nearby to. that we can move them to, or I can also, if a service call is necessary for my customer or another customer, I already know by looking at the Preseem scores, I can look to see who is dragging down that AP or that sector by just looking at that score. And if without Preseem, we would have a lot of work to do to find those customers that are causing the AP to not work like it should. And so Preseem, again, is just so valuable. Without Preseem, my job would be much more difficult.
When we started with Preseem, we had also had some in-house tools that we were using to try and track things that we thought were really straightforward, like tracking signal strength or tracking latency. And I started sharing those ideas with the guys at Preseem. And I always got this like can-do attitude of it's like, that's something we could probably do. Or they were already looking into doing it. So that's where Preseem really made another jump, because it started out as, doing bandwidth management and quality of experience, but it has started to evolve into this tool that's so much more powerful than just doing bandwidth management. I put Preseem like right at the top of the list as far as the different things that we use. Every customer touches a Preseem at some point. And so we're able to provide that quality of service, that quality of experience by having everything optimized and using the Preseem to help optimize those things. So it has pretty much been our number one value for anything that we do on our network, whatever services that we utilize. It's just heads and shoulders above everything else. I give up almost everything else before I give up Preseem at this point, because it's just been such a great tool and has really been a real game changer for us.
Preseem has really helped the sales team determine quickly. I think that's the main thing, is when you're in sales and you're trying to determine whether the line of sight will work, you also need to see what the health of the access point is. And Preseem helps us right on the fly, really, really super quickly, so that we can get with the customer and maintain that good conversation and relationship with them.
Preseem really does a good job of allowing us to shift from being reactive. I feel like we were always reactive before. We would address problems when a whole bunch of customers from a certain access point or tower called us and complained. Then we would start scratching our heads. Oh, I wonder what's going on here. We've got 20 people from, this tower north of Laramie called us. There must be a problem. We dig in and find the problem. Well, it's really allowed us to shift over. And we always dreamed about being proactive. We always sat around in meetings and said, man, we need to find these problems before our customers are calling us and having a poor experience. Well, Preseem really allowed us, especially with the newer tools where the business value score is there and the health score for the AP and the capacity scores. The info was there in Preseem before, but we had a pretty highly skilled technician go through and look at the frame rate utilization, the TCP retransmits, and and all these technical measurements. A good technician could look at that and extrapolate what was going on. But when Preseem took that information that was always there and put that into really easy to use scores, capacity scores, AP health scores, business value scores, now it brought that skill level way down to where someone with, just a little bit of knowledge could take a look at that very quickly and very easily, understand where the real source of the problem was, and then create a ticket, get someone dispatched to go fix the problem. So it's just really allowed us, for the first time, at least since I've been involved in the WISP business, to really, truly shift from being completely reactive to being proactive and fixing problems before the customers ever call us. So I think that's perhaps the most significant impact it's had in reducing our call volume. We're able to go fix the problem before the customers get so upset that they call us. Or worse yet, there's customers that never call and simply leave and go to another provider. So I think we've, been able to lower our churn rate, increase our customer satisfaction, decrease our call volume. That allows us to run leaner. We don't have to hire as many support technicians to take this, this high volume of calls. So it's just all around, I think, made us more efficient. Customers are happy. We're more profitable. I can't even imagine a world that we didn't have Preseem. I don't even want to entertain that thought.
The biggest vision we have is we want to operate long-term. When I first started, I didn't know whether we were going to be in this business for 3 years or 5 years, but now we're coming up on year 20. We've been here for a long time, and I feel like we have an opportunity to continue going for as long as we want to. We're a fixture in a lot of the communities that we serve. We become a trusted member. We employ a lot of people, and we take really good care of our customers. So I think my vision for the future is that we continue to evolve Vistabeam by taking really good care of our customers, by upgrading our technology in a way that makes sense to get people what they really need, and to do it in a cost-effective manner so that people can afford the service that we're offering. I'm a big believer in serving the areas that we're in right now, taking care of those communities. They've taken good care of us, and just continuing to do that for as long as we can.